and Stephen Engelbright, Suffolk County Legislator. And now we'd like to welcome Luca Rallis, President of the SUNY Student Assembly and the student at the State University of New York at Stony Brook. Carrie Staller, SUNY Board of Trustee member. SUNY Chancellor John King, Jr. Dr. Andrea Goldsmith, SUNY Brook University President. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand as we welcome the 57th Governor of the great state of New York, Governor Kathy Hochul.
Greetings, everyone, and welcome to Stony Brook. Today, it is my tremendous honor to host our faculty, staff, partners in research, students, and our elected officials who are joining us for this historic announcement. I'm Andrea Goldsmith, the 7th president of Stony Brook University, the State University of New York's flagship and the #1 public university in this great state. Governor Hochul, Chancellor King, Chairwoman Tisch, Trustees Staller and Rallis, today's announcement marks a truly extraordinary investment in our university that will transform science and technology in the United States and around the world. We are so grateful for the governor's leadership and continued commitment by her and the state to ensure that Stony Brook and the State University of New York are at the forefront of technology, knowledge creation, education, and innovation. It's an incredibly exciting time for Stony Brook to be leading the country and the world in many areas of foundational technology such as quantum information science, AI, semiconductors, energy efficiency, fintech, physics, and math. To highlight one of these areas and its importance, I think about this moment right now where we are at the dawn of the quantum information age, similar to when wireless communications was when I started my wireless research career back in the late 1980s. You may remember, some of you, that at that time, phones had to connect to a socket in the wall in order to communicate. But cellular technology had just burst on the scene with these huge and heavy brick-like phones, this big, that were too expensive for most consumers to dream of owning. Today, we take for granted that we can call an Uber, text a friend, send a video from small, inexpensive phones that fit in our pockets. But at the dawn of cellular technologies in the 80s, that notion seemed completely magical. And today, sending quantum information anywhere in the world also seems magical. Yet we have created that magic here at Stony Brook by building the largest quantum network in the country. I'm especially grateful for the major scientific investment being announced today, coming so early in my Stony Brook presidency. I've been president of the State University of New York at Stony Brook for about 6 weeks, And I am so deeply grateful for the incredible opportunity to lead this special university. Thank you. The joy of being in this role has been accumulating every day of the last 6 weeks, so that at this point I am truly exuberant. Stony Brook is a special community that is apparent in every one of my interactions with faculty, students, staff, alumni, community members, and our broad base of supporters that I've had the incredible honor to meet over the last month since I was named president. Moreover, looking ahead, we have so much potential to accelerate our excellence and impact across all dimensions of education, research, healthcare, and service to our community, to our region, to the great state of New York, to the country, and to the world. And we are so appreciative of this investment and more broadly for the tremendous investments and partnership of the SUNY system and the governor to elevate our university as well as education, research, economic development, and workforce opportunities throughout the state. Indeed, it was Governor Hochul that bestowed on us in 2022 the flagship designation that further elevated our prestige, visibility, and momentum into a new realm that will be accelerated by today's announcement. As the State University of New York's flagship, Stony Brook is committed to making New York State the primary driver of innovation, entrepreneurship, and workforce development in key areas of technology, science, and medicine. Today, this event is being held in our Research and Development Park, where we drive pioneering research in collaboration with our industry partners. These partnerships, coupled with strategic investments from the state, accelerate research and discovery and place our great state at the forefront of the technology startup ecosystem. Great research requires great partnerships, and I'm so pleased to have our governor here today to announce a major scientific investment. Transformative investments like this are a bold affirmation of the power of our collaboration with the state of New York and SUNY that further positions Stony Brook as a world leader in research that will solve some of the most pressing problems facing our region, the state of New York, and the world. And it is now my great pleasure to introduce the 57th governor of the great state of New York, Governor Kathy Hochul.
Thank you, everyone. Great to be back at the State University of New York at Stony Brook University. Incredibly proud of this institution and all those who lead it. And I want to start with our leaders in the legislature, our senators who've been acknowledged, our Assembly member, but they've been my great partners, and I want to thank them for their support. Also, I come out of county government, and I always have a great deal of respect for the challenges faced by our county officials, starting with our county executive, a great friend, Ed Romaine. Thank you for all you do. And Steve Engelbright, our county legislator. We have our friends in labor here as well. Let's give them a round of applause, Maddie and Ryan. Members of my administration, and someone I'm enormously proud of that we were able to recruit him to assume the role as chancellor of this great organization, this entity known as State University of New York. And I want to thank Chancellor John King for saying yes a number of years ago and truly leaving a legacy that people around the country and the world are looking at as one they want to emulate and model. So thank you for all you do for us, John King. And you need to have a powerful chair of the Board of Trustees, and that is Meryl Tisch, who's come here, and I thank her for what she has done. Her vision and her passion for SUNY is extraordinary, and the effort that she puts behind helping identify the key leadership that are the drivers of change. I want to make sure that we all give her a special round of applause as well. Meryl Tisch. Carrie Staller, our trustee. Carrie will be hearing from him momentarily. Thank you for what you do as one of the trustees. We have our student here, Luca Rellis, president of student government. I said I used to be in student government, so you never know where it's going to lead you. He was a little bit of a rabble-rouser back then, but don't give your administration too hard of a time. But also delighted to see the work done by people like Kevin Law, and as a chair of the committee to identify the next leader. And it's a heavy lift to keep raising the bar, because we have had extraordinary leaders come through here. I've been lieutenant governor since 2015, and I've seen many people come through this organization, and I'll tell you, they always have great careers that lie ahead of them. But we like to keep people here a little longer, though. And so we're planning on making sure that our new president, Andrea Goldsmith, we're so grateful for your energy and your enthusiasm that you do. We talked about your background in California and how you didn't use these words, but we want to make sure that they eat our lunch when it comes to higher education and innovation. It would be that incubator for innovation. So truly a lot of great people here. A lot of smart people in this room. A lot of smart people. So I have a question for you. What would Albert Einstein call spooky action at a distance? You don't know? It's called quantum entanglement. Okay, take that home. Tell your kids, tell your family that you learned something cool. It's one of the most strangest and most fascinating topics in modern science. And the physics of it are really hard to grasp, certainly for lay people like myself. But the idea is simple, that entangled particles can share information simultaneously, instantly, across great distances. And that is truly the objective of what we're talking about here today. And that simply describes what will be the future of computing. So as President Goldsmith described, trying to draw an analogy between how significant this moment is compared to another significant moment when no one saw the full potential, that's what we're talking about. People will come back and look at this time as a time when state government partnered with their academic institutions, and none greater than the Stony Brook University, but also private sector organizations, to unleash this next era of computing. And it's all being developed here. And I don't know how you don't believe in the power of SUNY. We've seen that. But also how SUNY is embracing the power of quantum computing. I mean, this is something I don't think a few years ago people would have envisioned. I mean, that's something the private sector does. We're going to teach the basics here, And there are leaders who've come before who've left their mark here, and I always want to mention James and Marilyn Simon on this organization, on this institution, and their belief and their ideas that maybe seem so wild and far-fetched at the time, but really created an opportunity for them to be successful, but also to return to this great place and make massive, major investments. I know because we started a program a few years ago where the state would match contributions to endowments to our public institutions. I didn't know that the Simons would break the bank on the first day. It was a lot of money, but it all came here. So it's like, okay, I got to go back to my budget director. And I thought it was a little here, there, a little there. It's all gone. But I was there at those great announcements. But this institution has been the beneficiary of a lot of people who believe in what you do, is the point, as I do. And I look at your new leadership and the support of the trustees and everyone else who's part of this. We're creating an institute of advanced computational sciences and moving us in from the theoretical to the practical, which I will probably even understand when it becomes the practical, but people who need to know will know. And that's why to make further investments and to sort of catalyze our belief in the future of State University of New York at Stony Brook University, we're investing big time today, big time. How does $300 million sound to you to establish It'll establish the new quantum research and innovation hub right here. You heard it here first. It'll cement SUNY's role as a global powerhouse. I mean, we don't just want to be the best in the nation. That's shooting too low. Our moonshot is to be the one recognized globally as the place where the smartest people want to be and the smartest students want to be educated. And the ideas that are incubated here are commercialized, and we create more jobs here on Long Island and in New York State. That's my vision of how these investments will ultimately benefit all the people of our great state. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to strengthen our leadership in the industries of tomorrow. And as you mentioned, I designated Stony Brook University as a flagship because people say, well, how come some of these other states, you think about Michigan and California, other places and Texas, like they have a flagship. Well, why don't we? Well, if we don't have one, I'm going to have one. I mean, I want to have my flagship. So we had this kind of ambition in mind with that designation, but also I knew that that designation would help lift up the prestige of Stony Brook University. And let's look at some of the results. Freshman applications are up 65%. PhD applications are up 45%. I mean, this is the smartest in the nation, people and abroad. They want to be here, 45% increase in faculty applications, because everybody wants to be part of the action, are up 100%. That's what a designation and the leadership and the cultivation of this innovation hub, this whole concept of a place where the smartest people gather. The momentum that we're experiencing here is nothing short of extraordinary, beyond my expectations. And that's why I'm so excited, but we're not done. No matter what the topic is, I say we are not resting on our laurels. We're never saying mission accomplished for anything, because I want to make sure that we establish New York's brand as the place where the smartest minds gather, but also there's opportunities for everyone. Whether it's what we're doing with free community college now, which is often a pipeline for these. President, you said that you started in community college yourself. And to realize that there's a lot of adults, not everybody knows their future when they're 18 years old, and they take a pass on even applying to colleges. But to say in our budget, again, I thank our senators and our assembly member for their support. We offer in the state of New York for the first time ever free adult learning, free community college for anyone over the age of 25 to be able to go back and get a degree or an enhanced or get more credentials, and to really embrace these new opportunities and technologies and curriculum that weren't there before. So I want people to have a reset in life sometimes and just another chance to lift their credentials. And I'm going to call on the chancellor, and maybe he knows this number, but a few weeks ago I asked and said, how many more students have applied to college at SUNY community colleges this year than last? I think it was 16,000. Over 16,000 people. We just enacted this a few months ago. So that shows the demand, and we're focusing people on the jobs, and we know that there's openings, whether it's healthcare or education, but also specific industry, advanced manufacturing in particular, but also the trades. I want more people to learning skills, and so that's what I get most excited about. I want every single student to have the same shot at the American dream that lifted my family out of its circumstances. My parents lived in a trailer park, and my dad worked at the steel plant. It was tough, dirty work. His father worked there, his brothers worked. This was the American dream for poor Irish immigrants, was to be able to work at a steel plant and have a union card. But my dad had an even bigger dream, and he worked all day and had little baby, my brother, lived in the trailer park. I came along a year later. We're Irish, like I said, a year later, and there's more. Lots of little kids. But he went on and pursued a college degree at night. And when he got that credential, he's able to move up out of the hard work in the factory and move into a different position there, and ultimately took a risk. And I'd say this because I think I have the same risk-taking gene, or else I wouldn't be here. But my dad, when he was 30 and had 5 of his 6 kids already, had a secure job at Bethlehem Steel, met a couple of guys who had just been involved in something crazy called computers. And my dad left his job. People thought he was crazy. and took a chance to join a couple of other guys who started before. 4 people started a company that worked in technology and solutions and went into companies and sold business. And I went on business calls with my dad, and they almost went under so many times. We struggled and struggled. But eventually, they made it and grew to 3,000 employees in my hometown and took the company not just national, but global. My dad became the CEO. I take all that success back to a decision he made to get a college degree. And whether you want to go into the trades out of high school, we have great programs and BOCES and others where you can go on that path, and I need so many people in that space as well. But for those who want to embrace these new opportunities in the future, they're being developed and unfolded as we speak before our very eyes today. Giving people that chance to get that degree without worrying about the cost is something I feel is a gift to the people of this state. And I'm so proud about that initiative. And I know that there's going to be other lives that are transformed just as my family's was because of that access to education. So we're going to have a brand new quantum hub here. It'll be anchored by other institutions. There'll be a data center, a network control room, an institute. I mean, all sorts of big fancy names, and people are going to make this happen. I'm going to come back and say, that's very cool. I don't really quite understand it, but that's all right. As long as you do, I don't need to. But I'll close with this. It just means that an investment like this solidifies our position as an incubator of ideas and possibilities, and ultimately an educational system that'll lead to more businesses being created and supported by the graduates of institutions like this. This is the whole ecosystem, because I want Long Island to thrive and prosper. And this is the linchpin. This is our key to unlock that even more so. It's a wonderful place to live, raise families. I know that. Our educational institutions, K through 12, are outstanding, especially since the kids are finally off the cell phones. They're gonna be, I said our kids are gonna be a lot smarter than the other states' kids. I'm telling you, I put my money on them. But this is what it's all about. It's about opportunity. And I want to thank everyone involved in this, because for me, this is a good day. When I can look out in a room full of true believers, people who know that we've just haven't quite unleashed our full potential, and we're going to seize it like this. Thank you very much, everyone. With that, let me bring up our Chancellor. Chancellor John King.
Good afternoon, everybody. There we go. Good afternoon, everybody. What an exciting day for the State University of New York at Stony Brook, for SUNY, and for New York State. Today would not be possible without the extraordinary leadership of Governor Kathy Hochul, who is not only committed to making robust investments in research and innovation in New York State, but also to SUNY's role in leading the way. At a time when the federal government, and sadly much of the nation, are turning their backs on groundbreaking research, Governor Hochul is making sure that New York State is leading the charge forward. Governor Hochul, in partnership with our state and county leaders who are here with us today, recognizes that research excellence across disciplines drives economic development, improves our health, and makes people's lives better. Can we have a round of applause again for the governor? In turn, our SUNY Board of Trustees, led by Chair Merrill Tisch, is committed to achieving Governor Hochul's goal to double research expenditures across the SUNY system. And this $300 million investment in quantum research and innovation at Stony Brook is a crucial step in that direction. In addition to the members of our extraordinary SUNY Board of Trustees, like Trustee Carrie Staller and student trustee Luca Rallis, who you'll hear from shortly, I'm so grateful to the Stony Brook staff and faculty, everyone here in this community. Today is about bringing the work of our phenomenal faculty and students to new heights. Now, President Goldsmith, you all know, just began her tenure. What a great way to kick it off. And Governor, if every time we have a new president, you want to announce a new investment, we'd be all for that at SUNY. But when we brought President Goldsmith on as president after a search so ably led by College Council Chair Kevin Law, we knew her deep experience as a dean, researcher, and innovator, as well as her engineering acumen, would build on Stony Brook's reputation as a leading research university. Under your leadership, President Goldsmith, I know today's announcement will be the first of many that will cement Stony Brook and SUNY's place at the forefront of cutting-edge research and emerging technologies like quantum. Quantum, of course, has the potential to unlock some of the greatest problems in modern life, ushering in next-level cybersecurity, faster discovery of new medical cures, development of better energy storage solutions to support our clean energy transition, and enhanced data transmission that is orders of magnitude faster than anything we've seen before. Stony Brook is already at the nexus of quantum excellence thanks to our partnership with Brookhaven National Lab and outstanding faculty researchers like Dr. Eden Figueroa, researchers in quantum theory and innovative quantum materials and device development, algorithm and software development, and workforce training. This historic investment and this new hub will leverage Stony Brook's existing strengths and resources so that we can become a premier global center in this critical technology area. We always like to say that SUNY is on the move, and today we prove that means we're breaking new ground. Thanks to Governor Hochul's leadership, decades, centuries, generations from now, when we think of the development of the next generation internet, next generation computers, and our nation's information and economic security, the State University of New York at Stony Brook and SUNY will be top of mind. Thank you all so much for being here to celebrate this awesome day. And with that, it's my pleasure to introduce a member of our Board of Trustees, Trustee Carrie Staller, who's been on the SUNY board for 16 years, and I'm quite confident that for those 16 years, he has been advocating, championing research and Stony Brook University, and looking forward to this day, this moment. Trustee Staller.
Hello and welcome. This is just an incredible day, and I'm so happy that all of you could join us here. On behalf of the SUNY Board of Trustees, it's my pleasure to welcome you. It's an honor to be a part of this historic announcement. SUNY and New York State continue to soar to new heights. Today is a signal that we're meeting ambitious goals, placing us at the forefront of groundbreaking research and development of next-generation technologies like the quantum network and quantum data center, where New York State and SUNY Stony Brook are leading the nation. All of this is possible only because we have superb researchers at Stony Brook, including Eden Figueroa and his team, and many, many others, and great leadership at Stony Brook University. But most importantly, all of this is possible only because we have enthusiastic champions for this work in Governor Kathy Hochul and the State of New York legislature, including Senators Matera, Martinez, and Palumbo, and Assemblymember Cassay, who are here with us today. Thank you all so much for your support. Your support and commitment are unwavering. You understand the importance of making New York a global leader in critical, complicated, and nuanced fields such as quantum, both for our future national security and for our economy. You have placed your trust and confidence in SUNY and SUNY Stony Brook's excellence in helping New York State become the leader in the nation in quantum. We owe the governor our heartfelt thanks for her support. At a time when university research is under peril nationally, the SUNY Board of Trustees and the State of New York do not take for granted our state leaders' support. Today would not be possible without them, without the work of our esteemed faculty and researchers at Stony Brook, or, importantly, without the leadership of SUNY Chancellor John King, and our esteemed SUNY Chair, Merrill Tisch. When I was a kid growing up on Long Island, aerospace powered the economy. And before we had what we now know as the LLMs, we all took great pride that the lunar landing module was designed and built right here on Long Island. Now, with the leadership of Governor Kathy Hochul and Suffolk County Executive Ed Romaine, who's here with us as well, we are planting the seeds for the next industry that will power Long Island for generations to come and change our world. Thank you very much for that support. I'm eager to see the Quantum Hub come to fruition and thrilled that Stony Brook is the place making big breakthroughs happen. On behalf of the SUNY Board of Trustees, thank you all again for your support. Now I'm pleased to introduce SUNY student trustee and Stony Brook University student, Luca Rallis.
On behalf of Chairman Merrill H. Tisch and the SUNY Board of Trustees, I'd like to thank everyone once again for coming out to mark this historic investment. It is days like today that make us proud to be in New York State and make me proud to be a Stony Brook student. Proud to have a governor and state legislature that believe in the critical role of research universities to strengthen our global security and competitiveness, who know investments like these are critical to expand economic opportunity in our nation and our state, and who set ambitious goals for SUNY. We're also grateful to Chancellor King for his extraordinary leadership and stewardship of these investments, as well as the researchers, faculty, and staff of Stony Brook University who will make the Quantum Research and Innovation Hub a nation-leading, innovative center. I can't wait to hear about the cutting-edge work that you all will lead. Without a doubt, SUNY is on the move. Thank you.